All right, hey guys, OFD checking in here on a Saturday, and as the title suggests, we're going to be taking a look at the Seiko SRP779. This one I've just recently put on this strap coat or MilTat. This is their Angus Jubilee bracelet, which I'll talk about a little bit during the video. This watch came on your standard Seiko rubber strap. I didn't buy this watch new. I got this watch in a trade for another watch and some money with a friend, and he had this and a couple other Seikos, but always being a fan of the Pepsi model. My very first watch as a kid was the Seiko 7548 Pepsi, what's known as the Schwarzkopf watch. Actually, the watch he wore during Desert Storm, the quartz model, and it's a great watch. So when we were talking about doing some trading, he showed me this watch, and I said, yeah, I'd be interested. And it was funny. We met, actually, it sounds dirty. We met in a Taco Bell parking lot, and we did some watch swapping and money swapping, and it was very, very clandestine. But on my way over there, I was like, hey, man, make sure to check out that Seiko, Aron. Make sure that alignment and everything is good. And immediately when I got it, I looked at it, and I said, I see some issues right off. But, you know, I'm a Seiko fanboy, and somehow I'm just able to forget some of those issues and overlook them and still love the watch. And so I'm going to go ahead and jump into it, and we'll talk about it. Now, if you watch the channel, like I said, I've done a review of the SRP777, the golden or the gilded turtle, and it was a great watch. Had the watch in the collection for about a year or two, and then sold it and moved on. I do have a classic 6309 turtle that's been reworked in the collection still, so I do have a turtle, but this one is a new and modern one. These are running the 4R36 movement from Seiko. It's a low beat 21,000 vibrations or 21,600 vibrations per hour. You know, standard 38 to 40 hour power reserve. Very simple standard movement. These movements are used by many micro brand companies out there in the world all over the place. So it's a great, great movement, easily serviceable, easily workable. You have the day-date function here at the 3 o'clock position. You know, standard Seiko layout on this dial. You're painted on indices all the way around. You've got the sword and the stone up there at the 12 o'clock position. Kind of interesting what I noticed on this particular model. These are a black dial model, but it's kind of hard to catch it there in the light. But there's actually a little line of blue around what I call the sword there sticking up through the middle of that indice at the 12 o'clock position. Kind of a neat touch. Now, I'm going to bring it behind the camera and wipe it off because this watch was actually in my pocket before I shot the video. I didn't know how dirty it was looking. So checking that out. 120 click bezel on this watch, as you can see. And in Seiko style, they are a very nice stiff bezel. Lots of clicks, but also in standard Seiko style. Let me show you something here. Now, it's not clicked in, but you see how lined up it is? So just a little bit back and just a little bit forward to get it clicked. It doesn't lock in. It doesn't, lock in perfectly. It's just barely off, but it's that typical Seiko thing. You notice it. And so I always just kind of set it there, and eventually it'll be rolled over one way. It'll be rolled over the other way. No big deal. I get over that kind of stuff, to be honest with you. Looking at the chapter ring, it's almost perfect. You can see there at the 12 o'clock position, just slightly canted to the right of the what I call the sword and the stone there at that indice. So it's just slightly off to the side, but no big deal. Okay, it's not that big of a deal to me. So two slight alignment issues on the watch. And let me show you one more that I've tended to notice with these Seiko turtles. My last one had the issue. So hacking hand windable movement. But let's go ahead and advance it to the 12 o'clock position. And I'll show you something here, which always drives me nuts on Seiko watches. Okay, so right now you can see that hour indice is perfectly aligned with the 12 o'clock. So it's about 6 minutes off by looking at that. Now we'll move it up. And as you can see, it's just slightly off. Now, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just being a complainer, a whiner, but you can see that hour hand is just slightly off. Doesn't quite line up perfectly with the minute hand, but you know what? Again, it's something I get over. Now, I've been wearing the watch for about a week, intermingling it actually with my Swiss watch company 300-meter diver, because I'm going to do a 30-day review on that. But it's running about 4 seconds a day slow. That's another thing with Seiko. Every once in a while, they're going to run a little bit slow, a little bit fast. 4 seconds a day on a newer watch like this isn't that big of a deal. Now, when I got this watch, like I said, it wasn't brand new to me, but it is a March of 2017 model by looking at the serial number on the watch. So these come on your typical, nice Seiko rubber strap. I did put it on the Angus Jubilee bracelet, like I told you. Just taking a quick look at that. I got this off of Amazon. Ran me about $80 for the bracelet, but it's very, very nice, very much well worth it. I think the Jubilee bracelets are pretty much the most comfortable bracelets ever designed. Seiko's standard stock ones are very comfortable. This is even better. Screwed links on this bracelet, so for the $80, you really bump up the watch quite a bit. Now, if you're not familiar with the dimensions on the turtle, let me go ahead and fire up my trusty caliper here, and I'll go ahead and show you. They're not small watches. They're big boys, coming in at 44, just over 44 from side to side, so you're almost at 45 millimeters. Lug to lug, you are looking at 47.4. So that's what makes it wearable, is it's almost very round. Then you've got 13.3 on the thickness, so not too bad running that automatic movement. So let me go ahead and pause it. I know you guys have seen these watches on people's wrists before, but let me get it on my 7-inch wrist for you guys. All right, so even with the flaws on the watch, guys, that's the thing with the Seiko turtles, is they just are great looking watches. Even on my 7-inch wrist, coming in at over 44 millimeters from side to side, because that lug-to-lug length is so reasonable at 47 millimeters, these watches always fit well. The Angus Jubilee bracelet, guys, I must say, is an incredibly nice addition to the watch. I know the regular oyster-style bracelets on these watches are pretty nice. I actually never wore my 777 on one, but they definitely are nice bracelets. These are spectacular, though, from strap code MilTat. So great looking watch here, guys. Now, I know that, yeah, I'm probably going to get some grief for all the Seiko issues and the flaws that I'm pointing out. This one, they're very, very slight, very small flaws, and I think you can get over them. I'm going to leave a link down below where you guys can find these watches on Amazon. They're going at really, really good prices, to be honest, right now. So if you like the watch, pop on over there and buy it. You can probably get past the Seiko flaws that they have, especially at the price point they offer these watches. Hardlex crystal as usual on a Seiko. Let's go ahead and pause it and go out with that flaming lume shot you're always going to get from a Seiko. All right, go ahead and light it up with the little light here. And again, I keep forgetting to charge the drill master, guys. I haven't been using power tools enough, obviously. So typical Seiko lume you're going to get from the turtle. You know, you always expect great lume. I mean, down here in the bottom, I've got my Sumo sitting here and my SBDC 053 also all loomed up. So no surprise there from Seiko on that lume. All right, guys, that is my short, quick, dirty, the good, the bad, and the ugly of the Seiko SRP779 I recently acquired. But cool watch, probably going to stick around the collection for quite a while. I really, really like wearing the watch, guys. All right, that's it. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up down there at the bottom. And if you've not subscribed to the OFD channel yet, please do. Please do. Thanks, guys.